What is going on, guys? Panther here, your coach of the Carolina Clefables, and we are bringing you our APA Season 3 Week 5 match against DeathyIAm and the Seattle Drizzlers. So, Deathly, aka Tyler, he doesn't need any introduction or anything. He is an amazing PokeTuber who is in his first league here with us in the APA. So he is in his 5th battle overall total now, and has one of the best teams in the league matchup wise. He has a really scary Rain team. Did not actually bring the Rain, as you can see up on the screen this week, but he has Politoed, and then obviously the Tornadus T, the Mega Swampert, and just a lot of other really threatening mons on his team, like that Heracross. The Raikou can be very scary. Goodra can be extremely hard to bring down, especially when your team is as defensive as mine is. But anyway, so we had to really put a lot of extra thought into our prep this week because Deathly is really coming along as a league battler. He was able to pick up a win. I believe it was last week or maybe the week before against Crimson. So he has taken down one of the best battlers in the league this season. So we don't want to be next on that list. So we had to prep really well this week. We're going to just do a quick team preview real quick. Obviously, you can see this is another post commentary this week. Did not get the opportunity to live com this one, but hopefully we will be back live comming the battles in week 6. But anyways, we're just going to go through our team really quick. So we have a Ferrothorn. I'm guessing that's actually primarily why he did not bring Rain, just to boost Ferrothorn even more. But we have a Choppleberry Ferrothorn with Spikes, Grass Stab, Thunder Wave, and Knockoff, I believe, just to kind of spread some paralysis around if Tornadus wanted to stay in and try to hit me with maybe like a Superpower or Heat Wave, potentially. Knockoff just to get rid of potentially like Sapsip or Goodra's item, or maybe even like Heracross's Flame Orb before he's able to activate it. And then obviously Spikes just to hazard stack him because his only hazard removal was the Tornadus T and Defog, and I really didn't think he was going to bring that. Actually, I think he has Kabutops too, but Kabutops isn't exactly known as being that reliable of a spinner. So we have the Ferrothorn, we have the Mega Aerodactyl, because the Mega Aerodactyl really is one of my better checks to Heracross, one of my better checks to the Tornadus T. Tornadus can't really hit anything with it unless it has like a Z-move coverage that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head. But we really prepped well for Tornadus because I was really afraid of Tornadus going into this battle. You can actually see my third mon, who is the Stunfisk, just because of that Tornadus actually. My plan was really to just try to paralyze it, like maybe on a U-turn or something like that, but obviously it resists the Flying Stab, which hits my team pretty hard. Having a Guava Berry on it just to, that's a nice 50% berry, so you get down to your 25%, it pops, restore your health. I have Yawn actually because my thought process was, if I do bring this in on the Torn, he goes hard. Amoonguss would be his most likely switch in my opinion, because it does hit his team fairly hard. But I go for the Yawn anyways on the Amoonguss switch in, and then if he wants to Spore something, he's going to be going to sleep as he puts one of my mons asleep with the Spore. So I felt like that was good prep. Belly Drum Lanoon, thought like Lanoon had a very good chance to sweep him, and I could set up on the Registeel. So if I get that opportunity to set up, I really feel like Lanoon has a very high chance of sweeping his team. I have actually Clefable and Mew kind of go hand in hand here this week. Deathly does not have a dark type on his team, so I have a Cosmic Power Calm Mind Clefable with Stored Power to set up and boost, and just click Stored Power just to kind of run through things if I'm able to set up. Even if that is Registeel, Registeel is not going to be doing much back to me. It cannot phase me, it cannot lower my stats. And I'm in Magic Guard, so he cannot Toxic me either. And then I have Sub Calm Mind Mew. To be a little bit more offensive, I have Psyshock on it to hit the AV Goodra, or to outboost Calm Mind Raikou, or AV Torn, and it can also boost on the Registeel because I'm the right amount of HP at 205 to not get broken by Registeel's Seismic Toss. So I can definitely boost up on that. I want to keep Registeel alive so one of my sweepers can try to boost on it. So that was really important going into this battle. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into things here. We decided to lead with our Stunfisk because we want to get rocks up as soon as possible, just so that Torn's not getting that reliable regenerator on it, and to chip down a lot of these other mons. I want to try to hazard stack them as best as possible this game, because Mew, Clefable, they're not exactly hitting very hard before their boost, and they're my primary sweepers here outside of Lanoon. So I really got to try to get that residual chip damage on him. He leads with the Tornadus T, so we're able just to go for our nice and safe stealth rocks right here and get them up for the entirety of the game. So we're able to get our rocks up. He goes to the Swampert. I have my counter to this, who is my Choppel Ferrothorn. So even if he has Hammer Arm, it's either Hammer Arm or Superpower. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm able to live that. My biggest fear would be like a power-up punch on the switch and then into Hammer Arm. That would be horrifying, but Mew should still be able to check it, and I would fire off my PSYCHE, or I could potentially paralyze it with Stun Fisk if need be. But anyways, didn't bring the rain, but he actually brought the rain just on Pert, so that's very scary. I don't want to stay in here. Actually, no. I'm sorry, I fire off the power up because I don't want to play here and try to set up my spikes. I didn't think he was going to switch out, but in case he did not, I just wanted to attack what was in front of me. But he makes a good play in going into the Heracross to take this Power Whip. It doesn't take it great because that is 120 base power, I believe. But he does take it, and he's able to activate his Flame Orb, which is terrifying. But anyways, I can go right out into Clefable. I do predict the close combat here, but I want to go out into my Clefable just to take whatever hit he wants to go with. And also, just looking at matchup, Clefable's kind of gimmicky here with that setup, and I would really rather keep Mew around than my Clefable at this point. So, but Heracross is absolutely horrifying. I did creep it with Mew. I am timid with a lot of speed just to make sure this thing, if it's not scarfed, it doesn't get too far out of hand. But anyways, I do predict the Mega Horn now and go out into this, but he fires off the Facade, which does a lot to me. So I was just trying to get my arrow in to be a little bit more offensive here. I didn't know what he wanted to hit me with, but the Heracross, as you can see, is just absolutely terrifying. So now I predict him actually to go Registeel on the Mega Aerodactyl. He does withdraw, and he brings in Mermaid Man, the Mega Swampert. So I know I don't know his spread. I don't know if he's like Adamant Max Attack. So I just make the safe play here, and I switch out into my Ferrothorn as he goes into Registeel, I do believe. So that does show me, at least though, that I could potentially get to set up with Lanoon on this thing later, because this is his dedicated check. So I'm guessing he would Thunder Wave me or Toxic me or something like that. So he gets up his rocks here, but I get up a layer of spikes. So I was pretty happy about being able to get up this nice layer here. But I know he's not going to let me stack him, and he's probably going to go Heracross here. So I don't want to stay in. He actually ends up going Goodra. But I do believe I predicted the Heracross to come in here. I'm almost positive I do, because I think I go Mew. Yep, I go Mew because I think the Heracross is going to come in. But he goes Goodra, which kind of leads me to believe it may be Sap Sipper. I don't know. It could be Hydration as well. So I'm not completely sure on it, to be honest. But I want to kind of scout this thing set. So I go ahead and go for my sub. So he does drop a Draco there, and that's obviously going to be enough to break my substitute. But I'm in pretty fair shape here, because he's leading me to believe this may be some type of like AV set or something like that. Because I believe he does switch up moves here in a minute. So I don't think he's like Specs or anything. But he's not going to stay in now, because he knows I can just keep subbing up on him. So he goes out to the Torn. So I'm thinking what he probably is going to have here is Taunt for me. So I get up my sub. I kind of want to scout for the taunt, so I believe I just roost on the next turn to see if he has it, because the Psyshock's not going to do anything anyways, and I don't quite want to reveal that just yet. I know I've revealed the roost and the substitute now, but I see the Dark Pulse, and I know that I can't really stay in now, because I mean I could potentially boost on it, but I don't want to stay in on the taunt. Or risk like Dark Pulse flinches or anything like that. So I wasn't even thinking about this here, but I went out into Stun Fisk because it is my counter. But as we can see, he fires off the Dark EMZ here, so he was ready for Mew completely with Torn, and I got pretty lucky on here, just happening to switch out and not trying to stall out the Tornadus or anything like that. So I go out into my counter, the Stun Fisk, because that is all that thing is here to do, is get up rocks and just kind of take this thing on. And yeah, Stunfisk is thrown up into that amazing animation there, but takes really nothing from that. That just tells you, I mean, I've not been a believer in Stunfisk, but the ACC has convinced me, and that thing just took nothing from that Z move. So he goes out into the Mega Swampert here, which is pretty scary, again, for my team, because I've already shown my switch in is going to be Ferrothorn a couple of different times now. So I want to try to set up here, since I have forced him to either switch or go to sleep. So I go out into my Mew, and I know his hand is kind of forced here because he's either going to attack me and go to sleep, or he's going to double out into something else. And I felt like Mew was my best switch because it took on everything so well. Unless he went Raikou, I wasn't going to stay in, or maybe Torn or something like that to try to Dark Pulse lynch me again. But he goes to sleep in the Mega Perk, and I'm just able to get a free substitute up. He goes out into the Registeel now, and I'm not sure what this thing wants to do to me. This thing is Mew's biggest worry here at this point, because I don't know what he is. If he is Cursed, it could definitely be a problem since I'm Psyshock. But I had to run that so Raikou couldn't out Calm Mind me, and it just come down to kind of like a crit war. I know I have the reliable recovery, but I didn't even want to get into that. So I start boosting with Calm Minds here, and I know he's the Dark EMZ, and he's already burned it here at this point. So I know that I can freely boost on this thing. He hasn't shown Taunt or anything like that. He could U-turn and just pivot out into something else, but at this point he doesn't have anything that's faster than me. So if he goes Swampert, if he goes whoever, it's going to drop. So he is just going to break my sub here, and I'm +1, so I want to go ahead and fire off my Shattered Psyche, because I just want to get rid of this thing. I know if he is max HP that this is a roll, but I'm thinking he is more like a fast offensive set. So I just want to go ahead and fire off my Shattered Psyche here, and this animation looks so cool. So we both got to use our Z moves here, which is pretty neat. And Mew picks up its first kill and knocks out the Torn with the Psyshock's Shattered Psyche. So I think that's really pretty neat. So now at this point we've burned our Z, so I've got to be really careful. But he goes out into Goodra here, and I don't know this thing's set quite yet, but I've got to kind of scout for it. I don't know if he's going to try to Dragon Tail me or what exactly he has, but he fires with Flamethrower, and now I know he's not boosting because I've taken the hit, which really leads me to believe that this thing is Assault Vest. So I know that I'm kind of able to sub up now. If he wants to drop the Draco, that's fine, because he's going to lower his special attack in the process, and I've just got the sub because I'm +1 as well. So I'm in pretty decent shape here, taking on this Goodra 1v1. So now his special attack's lowered, so now I'm just going to be able to sub up quite a bit on him. But I know I can Roost here. The only thing that would really matter as far as the Goodra goes is him dropping like a Draco and it critting me, I believe. But he fires with a Sludge Wave, and I'm like, oh god, just don't poison me, please. And we luckily do not get the poison. I'm up to a pretty decent amount, though, because that was a -2 Sludge Wave. But now he goes out into the Raikou, which is pretty scary, because I don't know this thing's set yet, and this is the last thing on his team that can outspeed me. So I believe I subbed on his switch there. Yeah, I subbed on the switch. I think I'm +2 at this point. May only be +1. I think I may be only +1 actually. So I want to try to start Calm Minding up on this thing. So he breaks my sub there with a Shadow Ball. I do believe. Yeah, it was a crit, so it definitely broke my sub. And I'm just able to get up another Calm Mind in the process. I don't know this thing's set again. I don't know if it's a sub Calm Mind set, but it is good tech on him bringing that Shadow Ball to hit my Mew with. So he fires off another Shadow Ball, and now I can kind of see what kind of Raikou he is, and that does a lot for me to be +2. So I know now that he is a Choice Specs Raikou. So I know if I get another boost up, he won't be able to break my sub on the following turn. So he's going to fire off the Shadow Ball again. He's kind of locked in at this point, and now we're playing around with Spadef drops or with crits. I don't know. I just want to go ahead and fire this off to get some damage on it. And in hindsight, that was kind of a bad play by me because this thing is pressure, and I really need my Psyshocks because I'm not going to be doing that much to Registeel or anything like that. And I probably should have just boosted instead of trying to attack that thing. But I really wanted Raikou gone and out of there because it was a threat to my Clefable, a threat to my Lanoon. Not really a threat to my Aerodactyl since it was confirmed to be Specs. But I just wanted to go ahead and try to get that thing out of there. But he just stays in and keeps throwing off the shadow balls, and it allows me to get another Calm Mind up. And so I've gotten 3, and I think that's all I really need at this point, because I was calcing the rest of his team in between those turns. So I'm in a good shape stat-wise, but I want to get into a good shape health-wise and try to get a sub up, I do believe, as well, because he cannot break my sub with Shadow Ball alone now in 1 turn. Or actually, I may just knock him out here because the rest of his team does not outspeed me. I think I do actually just knock him out. I do. I just knock him out here because I'm at an excellent amount of health, and I'm +3 special attack, +3 special defense, and I outspeed the Goodra, the Heracross, the Registeel, and the Mega Swampert. So he goes on to Heracross, and I do believe he knows I'm at least somewhat defensive, somewhat bulky. I don't think he knew that I was speedy at this point, and he really didn't have an option. It was his last ditch effort really to see if Heracross could outspeed, but it does not. Because I was definitely terrified of that Heracross. It was a really good bring on his part, and a really cool set to bring that Guts Flame Orb. But we're able to knock out the Heracross. He goes out into the Goodra. Again, I think this thing is AV, and we've already confirmed that it really can't do much to me, and that we outspeed it. So we're just going to fire off the Psyshock. We're +3. It's down to 30%, so we're going to go and knock that thing out as well. I believe he goes out to the Sleep Mega Swampert next, and he's just sending out his last Mons to sack off to Mute. Is what I was pretty sure of at this point, but I wasn't quite sure of the Registeel set, and that's the last thing that really threatens me on his team. Because if it is like a Curse, Rest, Sleep Talk set, it could potentially threaten me. Stunfisk would be able to come in on it pretty safely, but I really didn't want to get into that type of war or anything, so I play really safe here. I don't know if he's going to Toxic me. I just want to go ahead and get up a sub, because I want to scout to see what he does. I want to see if he wants to Curse or try to Toxic me. And I see he just throws off the Iron Head, so I now know that he doesn't really have anything to hit me with. He may have had the Curse, but at this point I don't think he really wanted to get into that type of like stall war or anything like that. So I wasn't trying to rub salt in it or anything like that. I was just really trying to preserve Mew, make sure it didn't get toxic, because I was really afraid of this thing. Because of its setup, it could be kind of a problem for me, because I can't touch it with Ferrothorn. Stunfisk isn't doing a lot. I can't touch it with Mega Aerodactyl. I can't touch it with Lanoon. So I really couldn't afford not to at least scout and sub there, because if it was Curse, it could have really tipped the battle back for me. And I realized that afterwards. But Mew's able to pick up the kill there on the Registeel, and we were able to set up with Calm Mind Mew and win there at the right opportunity. So really good game to you, Deathly. Really happy to have you in the league this season, man. So I hope you're having fun, and you've got a really cool team. Love your logo and everything like that. I'm looking forward to seeing your side of the battle. But again, good game to you, man. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button down below, and let me know what you thought of the team this week. But next week we will be playing General Tar Heel and the Charlotte Charizards. So our old good buddy from the old seasons of the APA. We're getting to square off again here in week 6. So really looking forward to that battle. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.